we need to talk about a message. A message that just sent a shockwave through the highest levels of government and cybersecurity. For the first time, the world's most elusive hacker has spoken. And their warning? It's about the very foundation of our modern world.
For years, the name Janus was just that, a ghost, a digital phantom that haunted the darkest corners of the web, credited with breaches so sophisticated they could literally reshape nations. Yeah, it was a whisper, a name spoken in these hushed, anxious tones inside intelligence agencies and in the boardrooms of the biggest cybersecurity firms. You know, the kind of name you only heard after something huge and unexplained just happened. And that whisper, it grew into a legend. Nobody knew who they were, but a consensus formed pretty quickly. Janus was the best, the most effective, and because of that, the most dangerous hacker on the planet. And after years of complete and utter silence, they have just spoken.
Okay, so let's really dive into this. Who or what is Janus? And why does this one name command so much fear and, frankly, so much respect in the digital underworld?
Well, the mystery is a huge part of the legend, right? Is Janus one brilliant person? A whole sophisticated team? Are they some rogue agent? Or maybe a deniable weapon for a government? The only thing anyone knew for sure was their track record of impossible nation-altering hacks. They were the apex predator of the digital world, and silence was their signature, until now.
So let's get to the manifesto itself, because this wasn't a ransom note or your typical threat. No, this was something far more strategic. And honestly, a whole lot more unsettling. The delivery was classic Janus. Just appeared, like a ghost, on a secure forum, and it was designed to vanish. But the message itself wasn't an attack. It was a 500-word diagnosis of a critical sickness in our global infrastructure, a warning that the entire system we rely on is just a house of cards. Janus starts by challenging our entire idea of security. They paint this picture of us as these diligent gatekeepers, polishing the locks on a fortress that is fundamentally, fatally flawed.
And here it is. This is the punchline. It's a chilling metaphor that basically says all of our complex defenses, our firewalls, our encryption, it's all just a distraction. We've focused on millions of tiny threats while leaving the master key to everything, the single point of failure, just sitting there, completely exposed.
But Janus didn't just speak in metaphors. No, they went a step further, proving their point by revealing the exact key they were talking about.
So this key, it isn't a password to a bank or some government agency. It's a vulnerability in something much, much bigger. The decades-old digital protocol that acts as the central nervous system for all of global trade. It is the plumbing that moves everything we use. And the scale here is it's mind-boggling. This one single system coordinates the movement of nearly 90% of everything you buy, you eat, and you use. From the medicine at your pharmacy to the gas in your car, it all depends on this one protocol. And here's what makes this exploit so terrifyingly elegant. You don't need to break down the door. You just intercept the mailman. Janus revealed that you can grab a shipment's data packet, rewrite where it's going or what it's carrying, and the system just accepts it as truth. It reroutes actual physical goods without a single alarm bell going off.
So this is the crucial point. This shifts the threat from the digital world to the physical one. See, hackers normally steal information. This exploit allows someone to manipulate reality. You could send a tanker of oil into the middle of the ocean. You could change a shipment of life-saving medicine into a manifest for gravel. This isn't about data theft. It's about breaking the world.
The moment this manifesto was verified, a silent, frantic panic just ripped through the halls of power. Governments and corporations went into overdrive, not to deny the claim, but to figure out the catastrophic damage it represented. The official response has been almost total silence. And let me tell you, cybersecurity experts will say that is the most terrifying confirmation you could possibly get. They're not denying it because they can't. They know it's real and they are scrambling.
Economists and security analysts are running simulations right now, and the outlook is grim. Just the knowledge that this threat exists has created massive instability. But if it were ever actually used, experts say it would trigger a complete global economic collapse, making our recent supply chain problems look like a minor hiccup.
And we're not talking about abstract ideas here. We're talking about supply chains grinding to a complete halt, empty store shelves within days, ships with fake manifests just lost at sea, widespread food shortages that could lead to famine and a total breakdown of society. This isn't a computer problem, it's a civilization-level threat.
But maybe the most chilling part of this whole manifesto is what Janus didn't do. There were no demands, no ransom, no political agenda, just a final, ominous warning.
Janus claims they will not use this power. Their goal wasn't destruction, it was demonstration. They put a ticking time bomb on the table for the whole world to see, just to prove it exists. And then they laid out the terrifying truth. The question isn't if someone else will use it, it's when. And that name, the name itself, is the final clue. Janus is the two-faced god of doorways, of transitions. One face looks back at the past, at the flawed, fragile systems we built, and the other looks forward to the future, to the potential collapse. Janus is forcing us to stand in that doorway and pick a path.
When you really boil it down, this manifesto wasn't about a hacker flexing their muscles. It was about holding up a mirror to our own complacency. It shows our absolute, total dependence on a global system we don't control and barely even understand. A system built on a foundation that is fundamentally cracked.
So Janus has exposed the vulnerability and started the clock. They've forced a global conversation that nobody wanted to have. The key to chaos is now known. And the real question is no longer about some ghost in the machine, it's about us. Are we going to fix the lock? Are we just going to wait for someone else to use the key?